Hey, welcome to the stream. My name is Buran, and today I want to talk about the lifeblood of your business. You know, uh, content marketing. The reason why I say content marketing is the core of your business is because of the fact that, well, it's pretty much everything that you do. It's everything that a business needs to generate traffic for your business. So, and let me justify that. So, when it comes to content or when it comes to running an online business, we've always been of the thought, we've always had this thought, we've always had this thought that, you've got to run ads. You've always got to run, some sort of a paid traffic, whether it's Google ads or YouTube ads or Facebook ads or some other format of ads to generate traffic to your website. And while that is important, and while traffic from ads is very important, it's definitely high up in the list of things that are needed when it comes to running a business. It's one of those. It's one of those things that you just kind of don't enjoy it. It's just not something that you want to be paying for all the time. And the only solution really to that problem is to get social traffic, to get organic traffic. And while you may say that traffic is free, it's actually not free in the sense that you're taking time and you're investing time in writing blog posts, making videos, putting out a bunch of content, managing your social channels, running your Facebook page, posting on Instagram, doing all of those things. And the difference is that when it comes to your ads, when you switch it on, you maybe wait a day or two and you get some traffic and maybe you get some sales, depending on what you're offering, or you may get some traffic to your blog or whatever the things that you're talking about. But when you switch them off, that traffic ends, that traffic goes away. And so this is why organic traffic, organic content, content that's evergreen, what they say is evergreen, and that it kind of lives on the internet and it's available always, provided the content is always relevant and provided the content is still necessary or still helpful, for now, for what we're doing uh, in the current day. That content will always be there, provided you keep your website going, provided you keep your YouTube channel going, of course. But let's say, for example, you write a blog post teaching people how to run videos through live streams or using OBS. And there's a lot of content like that out there. And if you're a live streamer, if somebody you're trying to figure out how to go live on YouTube or Facebook, then OBS is definitely a solution for you. And possibly searching it on Google or YouTube will definitely generate some traffic for you. You'll definitely go into this realm and this rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to live stream using OBS. Now, when it comes to digital marketing, there aren't a lot of people that are saying, there's a lot of digital marketing content out there, let's face it. There are a bunch of websites that talk about digital marketing and that are trying to help you figure this stuff out. But at the same time, there's a lot of conflicting information, right? So what works for one person might not work for another. And the thing is, you've got to be able to apply it to your business. You've got to be able to figure out, well, is this something that you really want to do? Is this something you really want to talk about? And if that's the case, then, well, go ahead and write the content, publish the content. Now, the trickery around SEO and and the information that you need, or the technical knowledge that you need to be able to get all of those bits and pieces working, it's an amount. It's so much stuff that you need an expert. You need somebody who really knows what they're doing. You could Google a bunch of stuff, and sure, you're gonna have that content come through, and you're gonna learn and you're gonna figure out. But like I said, it's one of those situations where it's just one of those slow burn things. It's one of those one of those things that just take time to prepare. It takes time to tweak. It takes time to analyze. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips. So obviously, you're going to write your article in an SEO friendly way, but also not in an SEO heavy way. So let me say what that is. So in the past, most people were using keywords, right? And keywords was the lifeblood. You wrote articles to rank for specific keywords, and while that's still important, it's going to become less and less necessary, just because Google's getting smarter. Intent is becoming more the currency of the day when it comes to content, and so you know, as things move forward, especially because of the BERT update on Google and further updates that will come down the line, in terms of Google being able to say, hey, like, you can pretty much search whatever you want to, or you can search in broad terms a type of a topic, or a topic or a keyword, and Google's going to deliver better results over time. And so the reliance on keywords is not going to be as important. What I would suggest is that you use the right words in your articles, so that Google will pick that up. So that's sort of content and SEO. Now, SEO, when you talk about backlinks and you talk about, like, yes, those are important. And if you've got people linking to you, and you've got people sort of recommending your post, or you've got magazines, or other people that's talking about, hey, this dude wrote this article, or this person put out this video, then yes, that information that's relevant, it's relevant to the people, it's relevant to the audience, and so the people are going to share that. And so when those shares happen, when those referrals come through, then that's good. That's good for you. And that generates traffic to your website, and that's what you want ultimately. Now, the other problem with paid advertising is that sometimes the traffic that you get from those channels, even if you're targeting, may not always be the best quality traffic, and sometimes you don't have control over that. Sometimes you can do your targeting, you can pick topics, you can pick certain things, but the traffic that comes through is just not as ninja. And of course, you need to spend a bit of money to tweak, and you can fine tune those things. But ultimately, it's not a sustainable formula, purely because advertising becomes more and more expensive over time. When it comes to generating traffic, or when it comes to the SEO stuff, the other thing is, we've got to bear in mind that from a technical point of view, there are certain indicators, there are certain triggers, certain signals. Signals is the word I was looking for. There's certain signals that you need on your website, right? So your meta titles, your meta descriptions, your schema markup that's going to be on that page for the blog post, and for your articles, and for whatever the thing is that you have running on your website. Let's say you've got recipes, so use the recipe schema to give Google the information it needs to be able to say to people, like, hey, here's a recipe from this website, and it puts it top of the search. Now, that's not always the case. Google doesn't always rank you based on the fact that you've got schema markup on your website. But having it is better than not. And having it over time, where Google sees traffic on your website, and Google says, hey, like, you're relevant, you're doing something interesting, like, here's some more traffic, let me rank you. So that's that. And then the other thing is just making sure that your website is fast. And this is a whole nother topic. Load times on a website, Google's indicated that, when it comes to speed, anything over 3 seconds is not good enough. Now the question is, how do you get to a sub 3 second website? WordPress, plus all of its fanciness, when it comes to page builders and all of those things, may not give you sub 3 second website. Sure, you may need to spend a bit of money buying a couple of plugins to optimize, minify your code, optimize your images. Like, all of those things need to be done anyway. It doesn't matter what type of website you have. But in my experience, I found that WordPress is just very bloated, very heavy. And so I'm in this process of actually moving my website over to a PHP uh, customized coded build, and that'll hopefully be going live in a couple of months. But nonetheless, so speed, SEO schema and the way you structure your content, and also keywords on your on your blog posts, and backlinking, right? So those are 4 that we've covered so far. The other thing I would say is, when it comes to titles and when it comes to the creative side of things, using the right thumbnail for a video, for example, or using the right image for a blog post that's going to show up when somebody shares that link, and you get that preview of what the blog post will look like on social and also on other tools. That's also important because that's going to generate your clicks. That's going to entice people to click through, right? We're in an image world. We live visually. We interact visually, and we've got to make sure that the visual components of what we're putting out there is interesting, number one. Number two, it's ethical, and I say this because a lot of people are doing clickbaity stuff just to get clicks and just to get traffic, just to get views on their videos, but the video doesn't live up to what the thumbnail says, and so you lose trust, you lose relevance. The other thing that's important when it comes to just putting out content is research, making sure that the content that you're putting out, making sure that whether it's factual, whether it's opinionated items that you're putting into the blog post or into the video, got to make sure that where you're making statements that you're backing it up, either you reference to somebody or you cite somebody else who mentioned or who did the research, or who, if it's numbers, that those numbers are backed up. I've seen so many writers, I've seen so many people just write stuff without basing it on any facts, and some of it is just total garbage. It's so sad that there's content out there that's misleading and irrelevant purely because the person who wrote it, the content writer, and I'm not hitting on, or I'm not beating up content writers. I'm just saying, when you write content, or if you publish anything, make sure that you're referencing, you're citing, or you state that, hey, this is your opinion. Be emphatic about the fact that this is your opinion. And I think that'll take you a long way. Now, I've had content writers say, oh, well, they need to write the entire blog post just because I called them out on a couple of facts that were, in my mind, incorrect on their particular article that they wrote for me. And it's quite sad because, if people are doing this type of stuff, if they're putting out content that's just not accurate, then you're not contributing to the world. You're not contributing to the internet. So this is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me a lot these days. And then of course it goes along with courses. People are publishing content, they're selling a bunch of courses, and they're just not delivering on the promise that course is supposed to be saying. Yeah, sure, maybe it's helping people in certain ways, but in other ways it's also not. It's also hurting. But nonetheless, when it comes to content, I really do feel that content is the lifeblood of any business. It's the core of everything. And the thing about content is, when you're coming up with ideas for topics, you are forcing your brain to think about ways to deliver your service, one. Ways to teach people, if it's how-to content that you're going to be putting out. And also, it's giving you fresh ideas. It's stimulating you in a way that says, hey, you have an opinion about something, you're putting the content out. And so the next piece of content, you're gonna maybe change things, or you're gonna maybe edit things, or you're gonna maybe improve things. One, if you've got a live stream and there's nobody watching, then you're gonna be motivated to have people watch. And so you're gonna want to build an audience. Secondly, if people are visiting your website, they may be commenting, or maybe they're sharing the post, or maybe you syndicate that blog post onto social, and there's people that are liking the post, there's people that are commenting on that post, and they're saying how good the article is and how much it helped them, then that's good. It's good indication of what you're doing. It's validation of what you're doing, and you're helping people. You're giving information out, and you're becoming a source of information. You're becoming a media house, a publication, if you will. And people like Gary Vaynerchuk has been talking about this forever. I mean, he's saying 100 pieces of content a day, and of course he says, it doesn't have to be 100 videos a day. It can be snippets of videos. It could be tweets. It could be comments to your fans, your audience, that type of thing. But it's all about content. It's all about creation, and that's where everything starts. It's like, if you want to do an Instagram post, if you just want to write something, you can't. You need to do an image, and then to doing an image in your style, you may want to just take a photograph. Okay, fine. A lot of people do that. But sometimes you're going to need a little bit of text. Sometimes you're going to need a little bit of, some filters. You're going to need maybe a few things that's going to go on top of it. And so it's the creation process. And the thing is, we've got all the tools that we need, right? We've got like laptops, computers, DSLRs, microphones. I mean, hell, you don't even need anything else. You just need an iPhone with, and this is an iPhone 6. It's old school. You just need something basic that'll get you going. You don't need all the fanciness, because even a basic iPhone with iPhone 6 that can at least load, some software to be able to edit a video, to edit an image, can do the job. And it's one of those quick processes that you can get done. So having that attention, grabbing that attention, having people see what you're doing and delivering on that, and giving something that's information, giving it's accurate. If it's a blog post, making sure that it's content rich and keyword rich, but also relevant to the audience, that it's engaging, that it has a structure, that it has a flow, that it has all the SEO markup, right? All the schema markup, all of the things that's necessary to get people to do what you're wanting to do. 1 minute to midnight. iPhones equal primary dev box. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you totally. Like, you can basically run a business from your iPhone. It's amazing. I mean, there are movies. There's cinemas that have come out. Movies that have come out that have been shot on an iPhone. It's insane. The fact that you can just do this stuff without any real technology. It's all there. So when it comes to creating content, yeah, I mean, I for one have started these live streams purely because I want to get out of my own way. I just, the fact of the matter is that for me, the biggest hurdle when it came to creating content is the editing process. And I've got all the tools, I've got fancy editing software and da-da-da-da-da. But just sitting down and creating that, recording the content and then sticking it in, and then making sure that everything sounds good, and make sure that everything looks good, and cutting out all the blah. It's just time consuming. And I, for one, don't have the time. I need to make the time. But doing a live stream is impromptu. I came up with this content marketing topic on the fly 5 seconds before I went live. This was actually a test to see whether my DSLR and laptop setup with OBS is actually working. It seems like it is. 1 minute to midnight. Let me know in the comments, or let me know in the chat, like, what does the stream look like? Let me know what you think. So, that's the ultimate goal, is just to get content out there. And this was one of my friends, one of my clients, who actually said to me, hey, just go live. She's got a fan base of 150,000 people on Facebook, which she's built over the last 5 or 6 years. And, it's one of those situations of, like, everything is in our hands. We just got to get out of our own way and just use the technology that we have. So, yeah, I'm going to be ending the stream right now. Let me know, in the comments afterwards what you thought of the video. Let me know the quality of the video. Again, like I said, I'm just testing the setup. I've got an HDMI cable, and I've got a oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, 1 minute to midnight. I really appreciate it. 1 minute to midnight says, I just stumbled on this channel through YouTube algorithm. It's interesting, but it's obvious to me that you can go far with your channel content. Thanks. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, like if you find this content interesting, comment below. Let me know what you think of the stream. Yeah, I was saying I've got this HDMI cable, and I've got a cam link coming through, so they can use HDMI instead of USB, which hopefully will help with the quality of the stream. But I think it looks good so far. And yeah, I appreciate your comment in the chat there, 1 minute to midnight. And yeah, let me know what else you guys want to listen to. I'm hopefully going to be planning to do these streams kind of regularly. I don't have a schedule as such yet, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Probably weekly at minimum is what I'm thinking. And yeah, appreciate you watching the video. Subscribe if you liked it, or like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you loved it. And yeah, go out and make content. Just create. Start creating the stuff that you believed in. Start talking about the things that you believe in. Share the knowledge that you have, and go break stuff. I mean, that's what life is all about. So have fun. Thank you very much. Bye for now.